Yeah. All right, so I don't know if you heard, we're with Arlington Independent Media, and we're just going around interviewing people about the rally.
So where are you from?
Maryland. St. Mary's County.
St. Mary's County.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so you must be a fan.
So I am actually the National Field Director for American Atheists, and so you notice my shirt is This Atheist Votes, so I'm out here to bring some awareness to the fact that 26% of the population are non-believers who vote, and that candidates should be paying attention to us in this race.
I agree 100%. But what's going on in the White House right now is the opposite of what you stand for. Yeah.
Right. Obviously, we're doing separation of religion and government is very, very important to us and to our voters. And, most of the Democratic candidates are on the same side of that issue, but just trying to make sure that we show up at all the events we can.
Where's Mayor Pete stand on this?
Oh, he's actually pretty good. He doesn't poll real well with our community, honestly, because he does do a fair amount of talking about his faith. But in the last couple of public events, he's done a much better job of saying, one of his kind of lines is talking about how faith doesn't belong to a particular party. Right. And last couple times, he's made a point of mentioning that also the country doesn't belong to only people of faith, also to people of other faiths and non-believers as well.
All right, very good. And so you might not be a committed diehard voter for him just yet, but let me ask you this. How do you pronounce his last name?
Buttigieg.
That's one. All right, very good. Thank you very much. All right, and good luck with it.
I haven't seen Mayor Pete in person, and I wanted to see what he had to say in person. I'm leaning towards the city to support him.
And what is the most important issue to you?
Well, the overarching most important issue is restoring America and Trump. I feel he's well positioned to do that. He speaks to the fundamental American values like faith, family, jobs, health care, national security, pulling us back from the brink of all these things. He's a veteran, he's a Christian, and he sort of speaks to shared values. So, equality and his liberty. So that's my little thing. But broader, I feel he has a broad appeal, whether it's jobs or healthcare or national security. And I think he's at least worth listening to. So. Thank you.
How do you pronounce Mayor Pete's last name?
Buttigieg.
And you?
Buttigieg.
Okay, we're 4 for 4. Yeah, everybody's got their own ideas.
I was going to say this always helps, right?
Oh, yes.
Buttigieg. Okay. Buttigieg. I already pronounced it Buttigieg. I don't know why. Anyway, there you go.
Because I really love everything that Mayor Pete has been saying. Can I call him Mayor Pete still, or is he Pete for president now?
I'm not an authority.
Okay, because I think I really do like everything he's been saying, and he's definitely one of the candidates that I think has the most potential in terms of his leadership and his policies and his approach to how he brings the country together. There are other candidates that I don't feel good as well. Well, I always say my number one thing actually is gun control, because I have 2 daughters, and I've been horrified at the fact that children can't go to school without being shot. And that's probably one of the biggest things. I also believe strongly that we need to fix our healthcare system. I wish we could have Medicare for all. I'm not sure I see the path just yet to it. So I'm not sure jumping in with that in 2020 is the right thing. I think taking this baby steps and getting there eventually would probably be a better approach. We may need a few years, and we need to be able to work with what we have today. I'm totally hopeful that Mayor Pete can really pull this off, and I know he would be a great leader and a great president, so keep your fingers crossed.
All right, and enjoy the rally.
All right, thank you.
How about you guys? Where y'all from?
We're from Pennsylvania.
You came from Pennsylvania for this? Yeah, how'd you find out about it?
Oh, I know everything about it. Yeah.
Pete site there
She's
is.
a Pete groupie. Yeah.
Does Pete have a big fan base there?
Oh yes, very big.
Yes.
Yep. He's already on the ballot. He's already on the ballot.
Yeah, I collected signatures for him.
How about that? Good for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And notice they brought their chairs and everything. They knew what you're veterans.
Yeah, well, we got them this morning because
we didn't know how long we'd have to wait in line. We wanted to be close to the front of the line, and we're 60-something.
Well, and so am I. But anyway, what issue resonates with you the best?
I think the environment and healthcare are the two things that I'm most concerned about. And I love Pete because he has some ideas that I think actually could happen. He's not, extreme on either side. He's what I would call moderate, and I think that's what we need. And I love the energy here. I think he's a loving, good person, and that's what really appeals to me. That he's a good person and he's smart. So that's what we need.
And she makes a good point, because when we're looking here, everybody's in such a good mood. Everybody's polite. No one has said no yet about talking about Pete. Let's come down here.
He gives me hope.
He gives you hope.
I've been so depressed because of what's happened to our country, and when I watch Pete, it's better than taking an antidepressant. He just gives me hope just listening to his.
Better than an antidepressant. That's great.
He is. He's wonderful, and he wants unity. He's got empathy. He really cares about all the issues, and he's got a plan for everything. He's brilliant. So I don't see how anybody could vote for anybody but him.
Yeah.
What's
not to love about Pete? What's not to love?
What's not to love?
Yeah.
Well, spelling his last name and saying it. Okay. How do you say it?
Buttigieg.
All right, there you go. That's another one.
Double edge helps. Boot edge.
Boot edge. And you?
I just say Pete, Mayor Pete.
Mayor Pete keeps it simple, yeah.
Mr. President.
Oh, say that again?
Mr. President.
Yeah.
There you go. President Pete. Yeah.
For first gentleman, too. That's a bonus.
Ooh, say that again?
Chasten for first gentleman. That's a bonus.
Yeah, that'd be a historic first, wouldn't it?
Yes, and he is such a wonderful man, too.
Really?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because he's a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's a teacher, and what he wants, he's already talked about what he wants as his platform is to encourage arts in the schools, which I think is very important. And just the fact that he has sacrificed his husband to this campaign and supported him the way he has just tells what kind of person he is, too.
Wow, that's awesome. An angle we hadn't heard and hadn't thought of. Yeah, thank you very much. Good luck with it.
This is my high school, so I went to high school here. I go to Mary Washington College University, so I came back to see Pete and my mom's bodyguard party.
If you were president, what would you do?
Women's health issues, so securing Roe v. Wade, and the environment, so fracking and stuff like that to be abolished.
So last question. You're pretty much last. Have you seen the line?
No, but we live like a block away, so I'm very surprised that there's so many people and that we aren't here first.
All right. Well, thank you for talking with us.
Thank you for talking to me.
Enjoy the round.
Hi, how are you? Are you an Arlington resident?
I am not. Maryland.
Maryland?
Yeah.
You came all the way from Maryland for this?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I guess he's not doing a rally in Maryland?
He will be closer to the primary, I've been told.
Okay, good. Right. What's the main issue you're here to hear about?
I want to hear everything Pete has to say. I'm a huge supporter.
Right. You just like getting up close and personal?
Oh my gosh, this is just so exciting. The positive energy that Pete's bringing to this county right now.
Right. Do you live in Arlington?
No, I live in Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah. Did y'all come together? Frederick, right. Good. How was 270 for you today?
Perfect.
It was perfect.
We left at 10 this morning.
10 this morning. Good heavens, you are fans. And what about you? Are you with these guys?
With them, yes.
Yeah, no,
yes.
Frederick, Maryland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What issue do you want to hear about?
I'm here to hear what he has to say. So, just anything he has to say. Yeah.
I've been hearing him for 6 months. I thought I've heard everything. Haven't you?
Not yet.
Yeah, no.
Not yet. How about these guys? Are you old enough to vote?
Yes.
Are you from Arlington?
We live in Arlington, but we're just here for like a few months.
Semester, yeah.
Oh, very good. Where do you go to school?
Utah State.
I go to BYU.
Holy cow, you came further than everybody.
Yeah, we did for Pete.
Yeah.
What issues do you like to hear about?
Just anything. Yeah, we just want to hear him speak.
We know it's Bernie Sanders that says free education. Free higher ed. Yeah.
That would be nice. I would like to not
Too
pay.
late now for you guys.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Well, thanks.
his numbers aren't good in the Black and Latino community. What are you going to do about it? What's your plan? He's here today, should be in South Carolina singing in somebody's gospel choir. What's up with that? You know? And, you know, the reason he scores low in Black and Latino communities is because he's gay. What are you going to do when somebody stands up at one of your talks and just calls you a faggot? Oh, by the way, I'm a black gay man. What is the answer there? It's going to happen. Are you ready for it? Lastly, when Pete has the right answer, he starts to smile a little bit. He's got to stop it.
If you, let's say you were president, what would you do?
If I were president, what would I do? Well, first off, I would have a commission of women to solve this abortion thing once and for all. We've never had a group of women to sit down and deal with abortion. It's time. After that, I don't know. There's a lot, you know. And I think that I would hate to think that we don't get this wonderful man, Pete, in office simply because he's gay. He's got great ideas. The nation needs him. The world needs him. But to be denied that because he's gay is just plain wrong.
So you guys are students here?
Yeah.
At Washington and
Liberty. Washington Liberty.
Washington and Liberty, yes. Got to get that right. They recently changed the name. Very controversial. You're not old enough to vote, right?
Actually, I am. This is my first time voting this season.
Very good. And are you here to make up your mind about a candidate, or have you already made up your mind?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
Yeah, I'm completely undecided. I'm going to vote in the Democratic primary, but I don't know for who. So I just want to learn more about Mayor Pete. Also, the experience of having a political event right at your high school stadium is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
When did you find out that it was going to happen?
Back on Thursday, I guess, when it was on Arl Now.
Yeah. Arl Now had the inside scoop, I think.
Yeah, I write for Arl Now, so that's awesome that you guys read Arl Now. I love that, man. They love Arl Now. That is so cool. Do you think there are other students from the school here?
Yeah, I mean, we have members of our press corps here from our student newspaper, and then there's other people who told me they were planning to go to the rally as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just from last week in school, it sounded like a lot of people were talking about it.
Yeah, great. Did the teachers encourage it? And they talk it up?
I didn't hear anything from my teachers, but it was kind of a late announcement.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Okay, well, good. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. I really am, because it's your civic duty to know who you're voting for. There's so many people that just blindly go into the ballot box and just push the button forever, looks good that day. But you guys are going to be informed, and that's really good. But let me ask you this. How do you pronounce Mayor Pete's last name?
Well, I see the Buttigieg sign, so I'm going to go Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg.
Yep,
Buttigieg.
And you? Buttigieg. Same.
All right. Very good.
Maltese?
I have no idea.
I think it's Maltese.
He's Maltese?
I think so. Don't quote me on that. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's too late. You're going to get quoted.
I'm quoted.
Well, thanks a lot, and thanks for being here, you guys.
I think education and healthcare, because there's limited access to both of those things, and especially there's always cutting of education funds, and that's the fundamental thing that'll help people have more opportunity in the world in general, and more access to things like healthcare, more access to income, more access to jobs, and having proper education, and also supporting the teachers that are in it.
It sounds like when you get down in the military, you're going to run for office.
Maybe, we'll see.
All right.
I just want to live my life.
We're just asking people, well, why are you here today?
Because this is the first election where I get to vote, and I want someone who's going to actually be able to make a difference, and who's actually going to enable youth activism and enable kids to be able to make a difference.
Right. Where are you from?
Alexandria.
Very good. Who would you have voted for 4 years ago?
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Very good. And what issues are most important to you these days?
Gun violence and women's rights.
Right. And Mayor Pete speaks to you on
Yeah.
those issues? Yeah. What about Sanders' platform of free higher education?
That is important to me, and I like that, but ultimately the values that I appreciate more of are with Pete, and I think that while Bernie has good ideas, they're not ultimately going to win in this election.
Very good. How do you pronounce Mayor Pete's last name?
Buttigieg.
Okay, that's two different ways we've heard now. Yeah, we're collecting how many different ways people pronounce it. Yeah.
I support Pete. I, as a Democrat, tend to support the moderates. and I waited a long time to really pick my candidate. I love Bernie. I think he's a great guy. But my thinking in terms of how independents, how American moderates in general are going to vote, we need to be open in terms of our policy. We need to allow for some kind of compromise. I think Pete allows for that compromise. Other candidates do too. Amy Klobuchar does. Biden does. But I think considering the amount of traction he's picked up in this short time, as much as I don't like to see a lot of money going into politics from large donors, I can live with it as long as he gets things done. So,
Speaking of getting things done, if you were president, what's one thing you would do?
I go straight to work on the immigration problem right now. And when I say a problem, I don't refer to them coming over the border as a problem. It's just the way that we're dealing with it is the problem. And I would do whatever I could for those families that were affected the most harshly. I wouldn't have an open borders policy. I think that that's something that a lot of Americans don't want. And I think that if we want to compromise with people and we want to win the election, then you need an immigration policy that's going to be acceptable to the most voters possible. And so I think that means you gotta keep some sort of consequence for people who jump over the border. But having said that, I want a president who's going to also put a spotlight on the fact that when those workers come over the border, white, usually, American business owners are hiring them. And that drives, I think, the immigration more than a weak border fence or whatever. So that's one of the first things I would immediately put my focus on. And I think that Pete's kind of speaking to that, especially given the fact that, in Nevada he had a pretty decent turnout. And I think that speaks to the fact that he knows he's got to be talking about those issues, and he knows that those are the issues that matter right now.
Have you seen this line? And you're about last.
It's more like,
how do you feel?
It's more like the Pete 5K at this point. I feel good. And I think you're good. Yeah, and it makes me feel good. We had traffic coming up the road before we even got here, and it wasn't all coming here, but it feels good to be politically active. It feels good to be out here, and I'm glad to see people of all ages, of all ethnicities, out here and having a good time. Yeah, absolutely.
And where are you from?
Alexandria, Virginia.
Oh, good. You guys travel in packs, I see. That's good. You're a Mayor Pete fan?
I am.
Yeah. What do you want to hear him talk about?
To me, it's really important to have a candidate with a strong background in public service, particularly military service.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I like most about Pete.
Very good.
I don't know what I'd want to hear him talk about, though.
Who would you have voted for 4 years ago?
Clinton.
Clinton? Yeah, Hillary. Yeah, very good. All right. Well, there you go. How do you pronounce Mayor Pete's last name?
Buttigieg.
Okay, that. I think we're 2 for 2 on that one. All right, thank you.
So what's your biggest issue, right, in terms of what you'd like to see change in the country?
Beating Donald Trump.
Okay.
I mean, literally.
right.
Is there any other issue?
There's some I can think of. But so why did you go to the town?
Because the last time I went, about 4 years ago, I went to see John Kasich, and I thought it was so fascinating to watch politics in action. And I heard about this, and I thought it's the closest thing to me, and I like him. I think he's fascinating and brilliant, and not too young.
All right, thank you. I'm glad you came out. That's almost inspiring because most people are happy with the video stuff, but I'm glad some of you come out to see it in person.
I loved it.
All right. Well, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
All right.
Everybody here for Mayor Pete?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I would say, yeah, you got it. What do you want to hear him talk about?
Well, one question I have is not only about women's health, but I'd also like to know what kind of things he would do to support women that could actually drive down abortions, such as health access, supporting universal child care, paid maternity leave, and also I'd like to know if, some things about maybe what he has in store for helping like adoption in the foster care system. So that's one issue I haven't heard a lot about yet.
Oh, very serious things. Yeah, very good. Well, I hope he gets around to talking about all of that. Yeah. Who's going to be the next bumped off the platform stage in the primary?
Maybe Amy.
Amy's got some little momentum, you don't think?
She has some. They all have a little bit. It's just the idea who's going to drop out first.
Yeah. It keeps things interesting, doesn't it?
It does.
Why did you come out to the ballot?
We're here to show support for president. The truth of the matter is, right now, he's the candidate who's not only capable of winning, but capable of working with the next Congress and actually getting things done. And that's part of the issue here, right? I mean, we see a lot of support for Bernie Sanders, and I love progressive ideals. But the truth is, are you going to get something done in the next 2 years with the next Congress? And that's going to be a big question. I think Pete's the right man to do it.
Right. And what is your biggest issue in terms of policy?
My biggest issue in terms of policies right now is healthcare. As I'm approaching retirement age and such, I mean, eventually I'll get to Medicare. But the truth of the matter is, it's completely unaffordable for people and even my kids and stuff. It has to. This is something that has to get resolved, but it has to get resolved in a way that, quite honestly, we're not going to nationalize the hospitals. We're not going to do things. We have to be able to give people a choice as to how they're going to get it done.
All right. Well, thank you for talking with us. No problem. Enjoy the town hall.
Very good. What do you want to hear him talk about?
One thing that's really that I'm passionate about is definitely the financial issues, specifically the national deficit. Like, how is he going to rein in national spending? I don't think it gets enough national airtime, and I think it really should.
Yeah, very good. What about Bernie's platform of free higher education? Pete doesn't talk about that.
Personally, as great as free greater education would be, it's not fiscally feasible. And so I look for candidates that propose things that can actually happen in Washington, and I don't think that's part of Bernie Sanders' platform.
Very good. And how about you? Where are you guys from anyway?
We're from American University.
Oh, good. Right, AU. Right. You didn't come very far.
No, yeah.
How'd you hear about this?
How to hear about this? So we heard about it through the AU for Pete group at America, and they sent out an email that he was coming to a town hall in Arlington.
Oh, very good. Right. And what do you want to hear him talk about?
I think, similar to my friend Ryan, I think I want to hear him talk about deficit spend, or the budget. And also another thing, I think, is the environment. I think it's a very big problem that we don't need to talk about, and I think there needs to be some change.
How do you pronounce his last name?
Buttigieg.
That's the fifth different way. How about you?
It's Buttigieg.
Okay, very good. Said you're an Uber volunteer?
I've been volunteering with Virginia for Pete since it started, which I believe was last April. But I saw Pete on CNN in March and have been 100% Pete ever since, last year.
What resonates with you with Pete?
A lot of what it is that he's so smart, and I don't just mean book-wise, he's so smart in everything he does, including things like don't respond to Trump. Everyone else is getting into a frenzy about him, and he's like, change the channel. Like, he's brilliant.
What do you hope he talks about today?
I hope part of what he talks about relates to yesterday's Nevada caucus, which again is that the Democrats who are not on Bernie's, team, who are on that, need to consolidate and pick someone, because otherwise, if Bernie wins, then that has a lot of ramifications.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Who do you see getting knocked off the platform next?
Amy?
You're not the only one to say that. Yeah.
Amy, Steyer. I'd say those two first.
Yeah. Not Bloomberg.
Ugh. He can buy his way through anything, so.
He's nothing but trouble, that guy.
Better to get back on.
Right. Okay, so we've asked everybody this. How do you pronounce Mayor Pete's last name?
Buttigieg.
You say that very confidently. How do you know?
It's literally been a year of me watching him, every video, everything.
How many different ways have you heard it pronounced?
A lot. That's why everyone calls him Mayor Pete.
Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Springfield. I grew up in Arlington.
Oh, very good.
So I'm local.
Well, we'll see you in a few, because we're going to be in this line.
Okay.
All right. She's going to let us cut in front, I think. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And what issues are important to you?
Health insurance is really important.
Right.
Yeah.
Bernie talks about health insurance.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to give you a choice. He wants to just have everybody under Medicare. I want people to have a choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Bernie's idea of free higher education?
That would be great, but I don't. That seems like a really pie in the sky thing.
Yeah.
But it's something to talk about for sure.
Somebody's gotta pay for it, though.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't see how that would get done. I feel like we need somebody who's a little more middle of the road who can talk to people. And Pete he's got that demeanor. He will talk to people and be respectful, and he's just the guy.
Who do you see getting knocked off the primary platform next?
Amy.
Amy, yeah,
I
we're
think.
2 for 2 with Amy. It doesn't look good for Amy right now. Who do you think goes next?
Amy.
Amy? Yep. Who would you like to see go next?
Maybe.
Oh my.
No, Bloomberg.
Wait,
Yeah.
Bloomberg.
Yeah, he needs to go for sure.
Yeah, no one has said Bloomberg yet. Okay. All right, well. Honey,
Yay! Please, listen to me. It's the thing to do if you really care.
all right, thank you. Wow, that's a fan.
Why? What's the more important issue to you?
Well, I'm an educator, so education. Federal funding, K-12 public education. More money. More money for schools, smaller class size, more support for teachers, school support personnel, higher salaries. Help me pay the bills.
You were the first person here?
I was.
What time was that?
I got here at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. for a 2:30 rally? Is that when they're letting you in?
Yep, or 2:45 rather.
2:45? Yeah. Where'd you come in from?
I actually live here in Arlington, so it wasn't that big of a commute.
Why were you so anxious to get here?
Because this guy seems like the only sane candidate right now. So
Only sane candidate, yeah.
So I'm perfectly happy to wait here as long as it takes to hear what he has to say.
Very good. What do you want him to talk about?
Well, we get to put questions in a fishbowl, and my question was, should the players who cheated with the Astros be banned from baseball?
That's a great question. I hope that one gets chosen, but I don't know. Have you ever heard any of these guys talk about sports?
I have not, but I'm going to rely on everybody else to ask the policy questions. I want to throw something in that maybe I care about.
And do you think the Astros should be punished?
Well, I think so. I think most people do. Be interesting to see what political pandering I get for that question.
This is our sports break here during the program, and I'm of a mind that they're going to get punished anyway, whether the commissioner does it or not.
Well, funny enough, apparently if they get retaliated against, the pitcher that throws the balls at them will get suspended more days than the people who actually cheated. So that's kind of messed up.
It is kind of messed up. Let's hope President Pete can fix this.
Yeah, let's have a government takeover of the MLB.
There you go. That's radical. Now, here's a question we're asking everybody. How do you pronounce his last name?
Buttigieg.
Very good. And is that the correct way?
As far as I know.
Thank you very much, and good luck with it.
Thank you.
Are you here to hear Mayor Pete?
I am, yeah.
You're a big supporter, right?
I'm actually a Bernie supporter.
What?
I think it's really important that we give every candidate a chance to tell us what they're all about, hear them out. I also really want to be supportive no matter who the nominee is. So coming to this will make sure that I can be really excited even if it's not Bernie. And the climate is my really big issue, so I want to hear what he has to say, get the chance to ask him a question about the climate.
Very good. You are covering all of your bases, and you make a really good point. You want to hear what other people have to say, so that you can stay excited about the Democratic candidate. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there's such a perception that Bernie fans can come to these things and just be really aggressive and just want to shut down everything they're saying, but it's so important to hear everybody out.
Yeah. Who's the next candidate you see getting bumped off the primary platform?
I think it depends on how things go in South Carolina. If Biden can't win, I think Biden's out of there, but Warren's hanging on by a thread too.
Yeah. Everybody else says Amy.
Amy? I think the fact that she's gone this far means that she's like not looking to drop out even if her numbers aren't great. I think Warren, because she was supposed to have so much momentum, if she can't keep it up, I think there's more of a case for her to drop.
Very good. Now, you're wearing a Georgetown sweatshirt. Are you a student there?
I am, yes.
Yeah, what year?
I'm a junior.
What's your major?
I'm a double major in Justice and Peace Studies and Philosophy.
Ooh, that's a very good. You're going to go to law school then?
Exactly.
I work at George Mason. That's how I know. Yeah. Anyway, anything? Oh, how do you pronounce Mayor Pete's last name?
Buttigieg.
Is that the correct way?
I hope so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.